Hello everybody, my name is Josh and I was a computer science examiner for a number of years. I was a head of computer science in UK based schools, and also I run a tutoring business now. I've helped thousands of students to get better grades in computer science, and the way that I've done it is I use my experience to go through all of the spec points for your respective specification. I write down all of the questions and all of the answers in the most succinct way possible. Then all you've got to do is copy those down, go through flashcards, and then you can still get the best possible grades. This is going to be relevant for all specifications. There's going to be a couple of tweaks with the OCR and AQA specifications where you have to know the topologies. This isn't relevant to GCSE, so just make sure you're on the correct video for your respective specification and it will be all relevant to you. So we're going to start off by looking at the structure of the internet. So one of the things is making sure that you know the difference between the World Wide Web and the internet. So the World Wide Web is the collection of web pages that uses the internet to display them. The internet is a group of interconnected networks. So how it got internet from that is took the first part of interconnected, and then the first part of networks and joined them together, internet. And this is the infrastructure of the network. The next part is all about URLs and the DNS. So you could get asked describe what a URL is. It's the Uniform Resource Locator. It's a unique address which is used to locate the IP address of your web page. This means that you don't have to remember the IP address, which is a long combination of different numbers, as human beings find it a lot easier to remember the names such as Google and all of those. Now the next question is all to do with the DNS, and it's the process of how when we type in the URL, what process does this go through? And I've bullet pointed them there. You could put them in order, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will get you 5 marks on this question. So client types into browser URL. So into your web browser you type in the URL. The URL is sent to the DNS, the domain name server. The DNS looks up in a big table the matching IP address of the URL. This is then sent back to your browser, which then renders the web page using HTML. The last little points for Cambridge International today are going to be to do with the web browser. So what this does is it renders web pages using HTML, stores favorites and bookmarks pages, and tracks history of websites visited. So this is all of your Google Chromes, your Firefox, all of these different things, what the actual web browser does. The last couple of points there is describe what a protocol is. A protocol is a set of rules that govern the network. And then the state and describe 2 protocols. In AQA and OCR I will be going into more detail on these, but these are still relevant to you. HTTP is a protocol which allows you to view web pages. HTTPS also allows you to do this, but it just does it in an encrypted way. So for the OCR specification, we do need to know what the star and mesh topologies look like, and also be able to give the advantages and disadvantages of these. So you could just simply be asked to draw the star topology. Key things, just keeping it simple, is you just need to do circles or squares for each of the devices. Make sure you label them so it's nice and clear. So in the middle, it kind of looks a little bit like a star, and that's where it gets its name from. And what you're going to be doing is you just need to make sure that in the middle that you don't put the server. That's quite a common mistake. You need to put the switch, and then you just put all the devices off them, and then you can just label them whichever they are. The advantages is there's no bottlenecks of data, as one cable is connecting the device, so you don't get that build up which you might do in a bus or in other topologies. You can add devices easily without disrupting the network. The disadvantages of the star topology is it can be expensive to set up due to extra hardware required, and also there is a single point of failure, which is the switch. So if this goes down, the whole network breaks. This is better for a bigger organization that has money. The mesh topology is, now there's two different sorts of mesh. Now what we've got here is a partial mesh, which is where you need at least one connection connecting each device in there. You can have more than one connection going between them, or you can just have one connection. So you see the computer here is just got one connection which is connecting it to the network. And this is much better for smaller organizations because it's very easy to set up. There's no single point of failure, and you don't have to buy that expensive hardware such as a server. The kind of main downsides of this though is that there's no central backups in it, and also in a full mesh it can be quite complex, which is, so a full mesh, what we've got here is a partial mesh, and a full mesh is quite difficult to implement because you need say every computer or every device has to be connected to the other one, so that requires a lot of cabling, which can be really expensive for it to set up. This is better for smaller organizations, as we've already said, that maybe doesn't have too many users in it. The final thing for the OCR's point is that we have to talk about hosting. So hosting is where a web server holds a web page or a website, and when the user tries to use it, it either rejects it or grants access to it.